Hello, my lovely viewers. I welcome you to another edition of the Eros Talk Show. I'm so glad you chose no other station but Volta 1 TV, the best station that brings you the best show. I still remain your humble host, Kiki. Let's take a quick break. After the break, I'll introduce to you my special guest in the studio and our topic for discussion. But just keep in mind, our house helps important. This one is Kokonsa. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Nisika bebe nye sister Kemi. Nisike. Hey, Mara, mama for back. Hey, Mahunya, then tell for me quite drive you was this year. Ajua, Sewani, Ajua, who ride on the Abaya be. Ajua, it's one among no master song, and son and son and nothing, no one yachi. Right now, our few right now, when you Missy Minnie, not a no, so I make
Obenyina mo CCTV no say wo bre na won timi bie pon no je high-end capsules eno na bebo awani no high-end capsules ejema wani pa
Edroi enye mankola omundi 12 years omo amafa yefunu eni omo omamba nufo FDA ahwehwe sa edwedie nkratoe mu aji
Minia abuwa me papa tina get benefit we swimming shopping na say mama na yo ba ma tina get watch ya no you say me clinical you know for and the development of what you say
Trezor 20
Trisha,
Madam,
I don't know what na power you busan say.
me bosumi asmo, ma fedro sa enko mintiminda.
Oh, bruh, Dimechi. I was introduced to Tinatech Venicaba. Nano crane, seminoma. Esiesie me baby, mommy your best ma. Tinatech Venicane so, ye nom na keke, ye fan shayase. A sign boa etubusume yawasinina. Jenna Febi and Sana boss abeto was Sakwaniso.
Edia na mudi sie me no mumienu mumbra me office osisia eyem wanwa wahu
Boss, Tinatech Venicare?
me to ma mere na me pɛ me ho asɛm nti matoba kɔma me ho ɛna matoba kɔma me baba ekoyie papa Edroi enye mankola omundi 12 years omo amafa yefunu eni omo omamba nufo FDA ahwehwe sa edwedie nkratoe mu agye atom sɛ
Welcome back from the break. If you just turn on your TV set, we are here in the studio of Volta 1 TV. Eros Talk Show is going on, and we are streaming live on Facebook, Volta 1 TV, and on YouTube, Volta 1 TV GH. And hope you call your friends and families to get seated. You don't have to miss this show. Before I introduce my special guest in the studio, let me acknowledge my sponsors, Tinatech Herbal Manufacturing and Distributing Company. If you don't know the products that they have, we have lots of products Tinatech does. We have the Tinatech Venicare right here. The Tinatech Venicare is very good for females, especially to maintain hygiene, menstrual cramps. If you're not getting orgasm, yes, and the men also. I don't everything. They have lots of products here. So the Tinatech Venicare is very good for women. Keep it everywhere and take it every day to maintain vaginal hygiene. We have the Tinatech Sperm Booster, good for the men. You think you produce a lot of sperm, you still need a sperm booster to satisfy your woman. And the Tinatec 230. Yes, it's also good for the men. If you're not performing well, or you get tired, always maybe, you know, the men always, they are workaholic nowadays. They return from work and then their wife touched them. Then they say, oh, honey, let's do it tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. Tinatec 230, very good for you, my men. If you take Tinatec 230, please, your wife will not go anywhere. You don't believe that married women cheat, eh? They still cheat. So just satisfy your women and then they will not cheat. As we go on, I'll mention lots of the products, okay? But let me introduce my special guest in the studio to you for our discussion. I have here with me, to my extreme right, the very beautiful lady. She is a military officer. Okay. She is Mr. Lieutenant Judith Tameklo of the 37 Military Hospital and ophthalmic nurse as well, and married to Mr. Prince Harry Nyami. You're welcome, madam. Thank you. Oh, in fact, you will be my mentor. I want to do your profession. And my immediate left here is Mr. Sean Adam, a psychological counselor, sexual reproductive health and HIV interventionist, and human rights advocate. Also, executive director, K-Watch Ghana. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're all welcome. You're looking beautiful and looking handsome. How are you, madam?
Doing very well.
How was your trip?
Very successful.
Okay, welcome to the studios of Volta One TV, the only station that brings you the best program.
Thank you.
Okay, my lovely viewers, get seated, call your friends and families also to learn a lot, because this is a very sensitive topic and we really need it. House helps, house significance, our topic for discussion today. So my guests are in the studio to educate us and we discuss more. Don't go nowhere. Madam, welcome once again. You know, this issue, house help, at times it brings confusion. So we want to educate people out there, married couples, even the singles who are keeping, those even dating, about to get married, house help. So at times, the woman says, I need house help, the man says no. Some men also are so understanding, they say, oh, honey, let me get you a helper or something. So we want to know, how significant are house helps? And first of all, do you have house help?
I do.
Because I know you're married.
I do.
Okay. So how significant are house help?
Yeah, before I respond, I'd like to state clearly that one thing I believe is whatever you want to do, customize it so it suits you. And the response I'm giving, it may work for me, it may not work for somebody. Okay. But for me, they are significant. Among friends, I call them the necessary evils because you need them around. Depending on what you do, they are needful.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Sean.
Hello.
I know you're married.
Yes.
Do you have house help?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Yes, I actually proposed to my wife about it, and she said she doesn't need. Yes.
Okay. Madam says you have, right?
Yes,
Is it a male or a female?
I have a female.
A female.
Yeah.
Why do you decide to choose a female house help?
Well, actually, with what I do, I may not be stable all the time. So with the females, we know they are able to take care of the kids better. And personally, I prefer elderly people to the young adults, the up-and-coming girls. Yes, so my help is more than 49 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Which of you made the decision?
I did.
You did?
Yes. But I spoke with my husband and he agreed. So.
Okay. Mr. Sean, okay, since you don't have one now, we want to know how significant house help are.
Okay. House help, in the Western world, house help is a hired help to take care of the various chores at home. But in our environment here, house help are virtually, most of them are people who are deprived. We go and pick up in the villages or relatives, and then most of them are unpaid. Some people put them into maybe apprenticeship and school. Some are either cousins or younger siblings, and then they come and handle those chores at home. They are very significant because every home is a different story on its own. So if you have a home where you don't have a stay-home mom who is home 24/7 to handle all the duties, and then even that may also need help. A household where the family works 24/7, they will need their help at home. So it's very, very significant. Yeah.
You are a psychological counselor, and I know that.
Psychosocial counselor.
Okay,
Yes.
so I know you. People come to you a lot with issues.
Yeah.
Have you had any experience of maybe couples or people having house help coming to you and complaining or something?
Okay. In the pool of counselors, we've shared experiences, and I've had experiences from them, but I have not really handled any personal such experience. Most experiences have been on the basis of them seeing the house help as not doing enough. But quickly we are able to bring them to understand that on what basis have you brought the person in? Have you gone to the village to tell an innocent, suffering family that their daughter or son to come and stay with you and you take care of them and you brought them home to become house helps? Or you've actually gone and seek to employ a house help, or gone to talk to the people and say, okay, I need somebody to come and work for me. We'll handle this, that, and that. Yes, so it's those cases we take them through, and then we take the people also through the knows that the house help must never do in your home, and the things a house help must do. But I would say it is very significant to the 21st century woman as well. Yes.
Okay, I prefer addressing my beautiful lady, Lieutenant Judith here. I don't want to say Madam, Lieutenant Judith. I know you're a disciplined person because for your field, you had a lot of discipline training actually. But seeing you have a house help already, can you share some of your experiences with us?
And the experience with house helps, it's a lot.
Okay.
Yes, because when I started making babies and felt there was a need to bring in helps, I started with the young girls, usually between the ages of 18, 22. But the experience with them, they all have peculiar challenges. The young ones at that stage, yes, they all have needs. Human beings at every stage have needs. Financially, you may be paying them, but that is not all to it. They also have their emotional needs that they also want to give attention to. And so with the young ones, what happens is that you leave your kids with them, you go to work. The best they can do for you is to carry your baby to a place you don't even expect your baby to be at the time you think she's home.
Okay.
And protected. They take them out just to meet men or their lovers, if I should say. Then apart from the issue of going out when you are not aware, sometimes they wake up and suddenly I want to go. So you ask yourself, if you are a good madam, you ask yourself, what is it I'm not doing right for this lady? Because once someone comes under your roof, you want to make sure the person is well kept. You don't leave them out, well fed, well taken care of. So when the person hits you with that news, Mommy, please, I want to go to my mother, then you want to ask, what am I not doing right? But you scan your mind and you feel, by grace, I think I've done well for her. So the answer you give yourself is, I'm sure she needs a guy. That's the only reason they want to leave.
That leads me to the question. Do you do background check before employing a house help?
Definitely. Once you are coming in to take care of my kids, I should kind of know who you are a bit. You may not know everything, but there are some things you can't toy with when it comes to choosing a help. So at least you want to check a little about the person, what the person was doing, the person's spiritual background. When necessary, there are times you would have to take the person for some checks at the hospital to be sure you are in good business, because you can't risk the future of your children.
Okay. Mr. Sean,
Yeah.
I would love to ask, to what extent do house help, especially Lieutenant Judith is saying she has the female house, so let's focus a bit on the female housekeeper. To what extent does the female housekeeper have to go in performing duties? Example, like does she have to go to the extent of washing your husband's undies? I want you to educate us and advise us.
Okay. There are about 9 no's that a house help or a home caregiver or so should not do for a married couple. First on the list is the bedroom is a no-go area for your house help, whether a male house help, female, whether she's older or younger. Your bedroom is the sanctity of a marriage. It's the most peaceful place in the home. It's a place that you can fight, you can jump, you can cry, you can do all the things as couples do. And then you come to the public, the other room, the kitchen, the hall, and smile to the world. So when a house help sweeps that room for you, you are in danger. When a house help goes to lay the bed for you, you are in danger. Yes.
But at times, most of the times, I hear the house helps, Madam asking like, have you laid the bed? Have you swept my room?
That should be for the guest room, the children's room, and other rooms in the house. But that particular room should always be catered for. It doesn't matter if the madam of the house has to come back 9, 10 p.m. from work and actually sweep. Doesn't matter. So long as she is taking care of that, you can move the beddings and the bed sheets and bring them out for her to come and take. There should be a basket for that. But it's not a duty to come into that room.
Lieutenant Judith, I understand your military role as well. You have a lot of duty. They can call you at any time, be here and that. If we come to laundry, to what extent would you allow your housekeeper to wash your husband's undies, or you do it yourself?
When I'm around, why not? It is for me to do. But if I'm not around, thank God I have a man who understands me. He does his own laundry. And that is one of the cries of the help in the house.
Okay.
Daddy wouldn't allow me to wash his clothes. Yes, he takes care of that himself when I'm not there. For her, she washes any other thing in the house, including the kids' dresses. But for my husband's clothes, it's a no, no, no. It is for us to do. If I am not there, he does it by himself. Yes.
Okay, now we want to know the advantages and disadvantages of keeping a house up.
Okay, so house help, I always say it's a good thing. But in our circle this way, we don't define it well. So it leads to a lot of disadvantage. You know, Lieutenant said you have to take the people to the background check, medical check, and sit down and let you know what you do and what you don't do in my house. Yes, but most of us, in the haste of finding somebody, but these days people don't want to stay with people. We are get me somebody, so they get you someone. A case we discussed as a forum was that a household that was moved from a village where they bath outside, and they use their palm fronts to as their defense against people seeing them bathing, came to a house where they bath in a tiled room, and this household had to actually mop just once a week or scrub the bathroom. And She just woke up one day and went home because she felt she was being maltreated. Because in their home, they don't even sweep the bathroom, let alone scrubbing it. So, what are the things you let her understand? A household that was taken to a typical home where the family wake up and all go. Yours is just to warm the food. She doesn't even cook. Warm the food, give the children. The driver will be there. You pick them to the school, and when they close, you enter the car again, go and pick them. We'll go and say they are maltreating. Whilst the family comes back home like 9 p.m. It's only Saturday, Sunday, the fridge for you to just be warming up and taking care of the kids.
Wow.
So house help, it's very important. It's important for a career woman.
Okay, we are not done. We'll touch more on that, but let's take a break. And also, after the break, you tell us actually the difference, Western world, why they prefer grown-up house helps, and in African setting, we mostly find ourselves with the younger one. So, lovely viewers, let's take a break. After the break, we'll touch more on that. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Seminoma. Esiesie me baby mama your best ma. Tina check Veniken so. Ye nom ne keke. Ye mfan hye a sign boa etubu so me ya wasini na. Jena Febi ansa na boss abeto wo san kwan yi so.
Edia na mudi sie me no. Mumienu mumbra me office so sia. Eyem wanwa hu.
Boss, Tina Tech Venike?
Me to mama na me pɛ me ho asɛm nti matoba kɔma me ho ɛna matoba kɔma me baba ekuye papa Edroi enye mankola omundi 12 years omo amafa yefunu eni omo omo mamba nufuo FDA ahwehwɛ sa edwadie nkratoe mu agye atom sɛ ye
Nisika bebebe nye sister Kembi nisike hey mara mama for back ma hunya den temfa me kwa adwo afie ho sesia ajuwa seweni ajuwa hey seweni ajuwa mi hu raja oni abaya bi ajuwa eso no ma no maso so nsana ne sane nam ne hu no mani agye raya owo fie o raya wo hi na onko be mesi meni na da me ya no so wani me kan
o benyina me CCTV num say wo bre na wontimi mbie pon no je high-end capsules eno na bebo awani no high-end capsules ejema wani pa
Edroi enye mankola omundi 12 years omo amafa yefunu eni omo mamba nufuo FDA ahwehwɛ sa edwadie nkratoe mu agye atom sɛ ye
Welcome back from the break. If you just turn on your TV sets, we are here in the studio of Water One TV handling Eros Talk Show, and the topic is how significant are house helps. Don't forget we are streaming live on Facebook Water One TV and on YouTube Water One TV GH. Before we went on the break, we were discussing the advantages and disadvantages of keeping a house help, and then the Western world, why they keep the grown-ups there. And in our culture here, we have we prefer the younger ones. So I guess we're touching on that before we went on the break. Let me acknowledge our sponsors, Tinatet Herbal Manufacturing and Distributing Company. We have other products there. Tinatet Chiapo, good for candidiasis, STDs. If you have this infection after sex and painful sex, you have to take the Tinatet Chiapo. And we have the Tinatet diabetes. Those who have diabetes, Tinatec diabetes products here, you just get to any of the Tinatec shops and then you grab yours. So welcome back from the break, my guest. Yeah, before we went on the break, Mr. Sean was touching on that. Can you just give us more then?
So I'm saying that it's of great advantage to a career woman to actually seek help. If you can get the help from family, good. But if you cannot get the help from family, then you should look for a structured help. There are a few agencies in Ghana where they train house help and people to give care at home. Yes. But a career woman who has younger children should always go for an older, above 45, 50 woman to come and take care of the house for her. Because as a young lady giving birth, there are many things you are now learning and getting to know. So these women who have gone through the system and have nurtured children can actually guide you. Yes. So get that kind of one. Now, an older marriage where everything is already set can go for younger. But in that sense, it should be structured. In Ghana, we always want our house helps and people who are home to stay with us. But it shouldn't be so. So there are people who could just come and wash on a Wednesday and a Saturday. People will just come and do the gardening and go back. There are people who will just come and clean every morning and cook. Yes. I have neighbors who have cooks, who have garden boys, and I see they walk in every day. They just cook, and by 6 p.m., she's gone.
Okay.
Back home. So she doesn't have to stay, or he doesn't have to stay with the family. Yes. All these have to be discussed and understood by the couple.
But most often in the Western world, we have the grown-ups as housekeepers. So let's now ask the lieutenant why she's following the trend of the Western world by keeping an older housekeeper.
Yeah, like my co-guest rightly said, I don't find myself around most of the times. And I've actually practiced keeping them with their father together with a younger help. And I've gotten my experience with that. And having the grown up too, I have my experience with that. And I, on any day, would go in for the elderly person. Yes, because like he said, this is a woman that have gotten children. She's nursed kids. She's raised kids. And she has experience. When she tells me, Mommy, it seems the boy has a fever. Yes, I know she can manage.
Okay.
In case my husband is not home, I know she can take care of the boy till any of us get home. But for the younger ones, the person can't even reason properly for herself. So yes, she's felt your son is warm, but what can she do?
Okay.
It ends there.
All right.
Yes.
Mr. Sean, how do you deal with housekeepers who misbehave?
Okay. If you have a housekeeper that you got from an agency, you can actually report them to that agency to discipline them. If you have one who you just call a friend, get me somebody, and then you have to get back to those people. But discipline and house help actually is how you discuss with the person before the person comes. So if they are going against it, there are no no's in the house, and then there are things you can look over or overlook. And if it's those ones you can overlook, you can let it go. But if the no-nos are crossed, don't wait a second, let the person go.
You are yet to get the house help, so will you prefer a family member?
Okay. I have been in families where we have all that before. But what I have learned in growing up is that when family members stay with you and then they are helping with washing a thing, when they go back, they tell their parents, auntie maltreated us. We suffered. All we did was to be scrubbing while their children are going to school and all that. So I would personally prefer to employ somebody whose background I can check, but not a family, not even from my hometown, not even from my area, so that the person knows that I am coming to somebody's home. I must be there by 6 to make breakfast. And then if you make breakfast, you don't serve daddy. Call mommy to come and serve. But if in case mommy doesn't work in the same town with you, that is understandable. Serve on the table and leave daddy to eat. Don't sit and watch him to eat.
Okay. Lieutenant Judy, I know that Mr. Sean has given us some money, but just tell us the steps or the ways to get a house help.
Yes, he said that earlier. It's best if you have someone coming from an agency. Yes, they've been trained on how to go about the chores in the house. They were spoken to, they were coached before coming to you. So that one makes it easier. But when you don't get such a house help, and maybe you've just gotten from a village or around a church member or something, yes.
You know, most of the times, friends love imposing or suggesting house helps.
Before I started commenting, I said life should be customized to suit you. Yes, friends can give advices, but you are the one in the home. So the final decision is for you to make. They can give you counsel, but they should not, and you should also not at any point allow yourself to be decided for. No, it doesn't work like that.
No. We want to wrap up, so tell us your final words.
Okay. To me, house helps are good, but look for the professional one. Don't go take a deprived, innocent person from the village and come and teach him lessons in your home. They go back with a lot of scars. And most of us, we have our homes where we go to work and come back very late. The most house help treat our children. Whatever you do to them, when you are gone, they do the same thing to your children, and even worse. So be kind and loving to your house help, and make sure you get a professional one always. Don't chase after cheap things. Are always dangerous.
Lieutenant Judith.
House helps are very necessary. That is, if you are a career couple, yes, they are necessary. But like he said, be kind to them, be nice to them. They are humans. Yes, the fact that the person is less privileged, you've brought the person home to pay the person, doesn't mean that you talk to them anyhow. They still have who they are. So when you don't treat them well, it comes back to you. Like whatever someone receives, there's this funny thing about a woman receives, multiplies, and give it back to you. Yes, when you treat your house helps harshly, yes, she's going to dwell on it, think more about it, multiply it, and give it back to your children. She may not give it to you.
I do watch this couple of videos of house helps maltreating the kids. As your duty, you travel, your wife also travels, and housekeepers and others are able to set up these cameras to get them. They maltreat the kids. And also, most often, do you know some parents are so busy to the sense that their kids grow up loving the housekeepers?
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Have you tell us your experience.
It's the most commonest thing in very successful homes. So because of hardship and trying to succeed, and people having companies and multiple businesses, they tend to focus more, and they leave the love for the house helps to give to the children. But you see, our environment, we don't have nannies. Nannies are older people, so they grow with the child. Nanny is like gives the love the parents can give and help to take care of the child. But they also have a limit. Well-trained nannies who make sure that there's always good things they are telling you about your parents. Encouraging you that, oh, your daddy loves you, daddy is coming, mommy loves you, and all that. But other house, if you're going to just pick anybody from the streets, they take away the love from your child.
You know, they go to the extent like at times mommy want to feed them. Say no,
Yes.
I want auntie
Yes.
or this to feed me. How do the parents feel? How do you feel when your child reacts to that? Like you
As
feel like
much-
he or
as
she
much
misses
as-
your absence. And
As much as you can, try for your children not to love your house helps more than you. If that happens, for me, then I think something is not right. I don't stay in home. My family is in home. My husband and my children are here with the house help. But since I go home or anytime I come around, feeding the kids, bathing them should be your sole responsibility. It's because you are not around, so you've employed someone to do it. So as you are around, what prevents you from doing it?
Yeah, most of them we tag some people, the boss ladies, the workaholic ladies, and they feel so detached from their kids. And
You know,
you are a psychologist.
anytime you hear a child saying, "Oh, they normally call it auntie. Let auntie help me. Or let auntie wear the uniform for me." Then your husband will tell you, "Oh, you want to do? I'm doing okro soup for you. Oh, you come and do something. Or let mommy do the okro soup for me." It's a cry for help. Your marriage is on rocks.
And what will you advise?
Immediately reschedule yourself and run back home, because you have virtually been replaced.
There's this saying that you see a tree growing, like if you don't bend it or position it as a younger stage, if it grows, you can bend it again.
Yeah.
So lots of damages are caused here. So how do you repair those damages?
In as much as you need help, you should also be very alert and look out for anything that poses a threat to your marriage. When you see them, yes, they are needed, but when you see a threat to your marriage, you can't school and get a certificate for it. And the only one you have is what you have to make work. So if anything threatens your marriage, let it go.
You know, but at times, if it gets to the point it's too much and you end up sucking the house help, the kids will always like, I want auntie, but where is auntie? Even if you convince them that she's traveled, she's out of town, they still want, I won't eat auntie, auntie feeds me. You try to correct your mistakes.
I just said, if it gets to that stage, it means there's a problem somewhere. My kids were in the house this morning, and our help has gone to her village. They were there, they saw her leaving. All they said is, when you are coming, get something for us. Yes. There should be a balance. You should never allow a help take your position in the home. The kids know there are some things we can only get from mommy. There are some things we can only get from daddy. What is it the house help can do that?
Some kids are actually so disciplined that even if they meet strangers in town, they offer them gifts, they'll say, no, mommy says I should not take. But some, okay, depends on where you're coming from, where you're training at. I know people bring cases to you like that, and what is your final advice to our viewers?
As I said, anytime your kids are beginning to show more affection to the house help or whoever is helping at home, know that you've been replaced. So your busy schedule, cut it. There's nothing worth it if you have all the career goals in the world and then your family is distracted. We've seen people who have built mansions and billions for their family and they died without, and the children sold them in 3 days.
As someone ever brought case to you, like it got to the extent that the husband has pregnated the household.
Oh, that one is very common.
How do you handle such cases?
It's very common. That's why I said when we hear that, you see, the things, they don't just happen overnight.
Do you adopt
the signs come?
Do you adopt the wait for the pregnancy, the household to deliver, then you adopt the baby, or your home is broken? How do you are a counselor, so
straight away that household has to go.
With the pregnancy, your husband's child.
That is your home. She should go and make her own home. That is your empire.
Lieutenant Judy,
it's not negotiable. That one is not negotiable at all. Yes. So if you are hearing the complaint, oh, that is like, okay, I like the way Adra irons my shirt. It's always straight. Because you are trying to iron, you are telling, oh, give it to Adra, that like the way iron it. And tomorrow, hey, this soup you've done, so this sort, if Adra had done it, it would have been better. Then you know that there's trouble. There's fire on the mountain. See, they give you the signals before it happens. Okay. So the moment the signals are coming, please, if you transfer, you will take the transfer. If you have to carry the man away, carry the man away. Whatever you have to do and save your home.
I love the way Najwa has maybe washed my clothing today. Then Madam will be like, "Wow,
Madam, you are doing well."
Madam, you are doing
well. Daddy is praising you. What? Are you for real?
I know some people out there, some couples out there are experiencing this at home. So I hope our guests here have educated you enough. They say watch the signs, watch the writing on the wall. As soon as you're detecting that, know that something is happening. Take control of the steer and work on your home. I want to thank my lovely guests for coming to the show to educate us. Lieutenant Judith Sameklo, I'm so grateful. She's an ophthalmic nurse at 37 Military Hospital, married to Mr. Prince Harry. Thank you for coming to make this show very wonderful. And Mr. Sean Adam, a psychological counselor, sexual reproductive health and HIV interventionist, and human rights advocate, and also he is the executive director of Key Watch Ghana. Thank you for coming to make this show very, very wonderful. My viewers have learned a lot, and thanks to our proud sponsors, Tinatet Herbal Manufacturing and Distributing Company. They have all your solution. Just get to any branch. They're all over the region, and grab whatever you need. The Tinatet Venicare, very good for women, menstrual cramp and maintaining vaginal hygiene, also painful sex, and if you're not getting orgasm, also Tinatet Venicare is very good for you. And STDs, Tinatet Tiapo, candidiasis, syphilis, gonorrhea, just name it, all the STD. After taking Tinatet Tiapo, all that will go. And the Tinatet Sperm Booster, good for men. Don't say that, oh, you have enough sperm. After taking your Atajue and other thing to boost your sperm, get Tinatet Tiapo to just add up. And Tinatet 230, you the man, workaholic, you drive long distance, go to work, return home, you're not able to satisfy your wife that has prepared, who has prepared very nice, delicious supper for you. Then you finish eating, you jump to bed. Take Tinatet 230 so that you'll be able to satisfy your beautiful wife, and she will not go anywhere when you are away on your trip. So we want to thank Tinatet Manufacturing and Distributing Company for sponsoring this program. And my producer, Bismarck Seria Mausi, thank you very much. My MC Elom Agidi, and my camera, Ellie. Thank you very much for making this show very wonderful. I still remain your humble host, Kiki. See you same time next week. Bye.